Eat, Drink, DFW from the Dallas Morning News is made possible by Central Market.
Hey, North Texas food fans, it's time for another episode of Eat, Drink, DFW from the Dallas Morning News. Every week, our food staff loves to dig into the local restaurant scene, talk about food and drink trends, and those things that make North Texas, North Texas. This is Anna Butler. I'm the News' food and events editor, and this week we are on site at the Dallas Arboretum, recording our podcast with the backdrop of holiday tea. So stick around, you won't want to miss this.
Central Market is really into food, like fish flown in so fresh it still has jet lag into food. Our sourdough starter has been around since grunge was a thing into food. We're talking more prime cuts than a greatest hits album into food. Central Market is really into food. If you are too, then we're the HQ for you. Whether you're a make every recipe in the cookbook foodie or a my favorite recipe is reheat type who just digs the delectable, no place makes every day more delicious like Central Market. Really into food. Shop now at centralmarket.com.
For the latest food and restaurant news, visit dallasnews.com/food. And we'd love to hear from you. If you have any food questions, a need for restaurant ideas, or just want to chat with the Dallas Morning News food team, email us at eatdrink@dallasnews.com. Today, I am joined by our food writers, Claire Baller, Sarah Blaskovich, and Imelda Garcia. We're recording our podcast over holiday tea at the DeGolyer Mansion at the Dallas Arboretum and Botanical Garden. That is a mouthful. And it looks like our first pot of tea is getting here right now. What kind of tea is this, Roberto?
Blackberry jasmine white tea.
Ooh.
That's a really nice sound.
Thank you.
A hot tea on a chilly day.
It's perfect.
Let me tell you that I didn't know what holiday tea was, so I have to Google it.
Imelda's like, I will show up. I have no idea what's happening.
No idea what's happening.
I will be there.
Yeah, that's correct.
And we're sitting by the world's largest, beautiful Christmas tree covered in red and orange ornaments.
I love it. I love it all.
Okay, we should tell listeners that we are experiencing something pretty cool right now, which is not only that we are doing tea at the DeGolyer house at the Dallas Arboretum, but because we have kind of an absurd setup right now with all of our podcast gear, they have put us in the library at the DeGolyer house. This is not part of the restaurant where you do tea. So they have us in kind of a special spot, which is pretty cool.
It does feel like you could picture Mr. and Mrs. DeGolyer in here sipping tea on Christmas Eve. Like it does sort of feel like we've joined a long ago family's Christmas Eve event or something.
I mean, we even have a live fire blasting over there. It's great. I love fire. I bring it up all the time. Okay, but Imelda, I want to go back. So this is your first, not just holiday tea, but first tea ever?
Well, I have tea in Starbucks and at home, right? But yeah, but
I mean, like, you know, we're going to get tea sandwiches and desserts and all that kind of stuff.
This is my first time.
Sarah is currently freaking out because Claire whipped out the honey, and it's like a honey pot, like Winnie the Pooh with a honey comb to get out the honey.
She pulled the honeycomb out. Is that what that's called? The honeycomb.
Honey stick, honey wand.
So we're having chestnut soup with a little bit of sour cream, and it is in a tiny little espresso glass, and it is so cute.
I have never had chestnut soup before. Were I a singer, I would sing us right now chestnuts roasting on an open fire, because there is, as we've noted, an open fire over there.
I don't understand why you have to be a singer to just whip out that song. I have had chestnut soup before at La Durée in Paris. It was over Thanksgiving one year when I used to be a travel writer, and I just had a big thing of chestnut soup alone over a holiday.
I just want to say I love drinking soup. So the fact that this is in a little cup with no spoon makes me very happy.
I agree with that, especially since we're in such a fancy place.
Is your pinky just automatically popping up as you sip this?
That's part of the tea, Imelda. You have to do that at all times, pinky up only. This is reminding me of one of my favorite things in the world, which is when you eat at Neiman's and you get chicken bouillon.
Oh, this is really good. Also, this has like the tiniest bit of texture to it from the chestnuts.
Roberto, were these chestnuts roasted on an open fire?
Yes, they were.
Of course they were.
We knew it.
I can taste the fire.
And this cream, it's like a very good touch.
Elegant.
Yeah.
While I enjoy this chestnut soup very much, I can say with certainty that it's going to be the kind of soup I let other people make. This does feel like event soup, not my house soup.
Yeah.
Okay, so I have to ask you guys, how do you take your tea? Are you like sweet tea drinkers or purists?
For me, it's sweet. Yeah, I like sweet tea. And also I like with milk.
I like my tea just as it comes. And I've tried it all ways because when I was 20, I lived in London and I did high tea a fair amount there when I could afford it. And it was my favorite sort of cultural thing to do in London. And my favorite place to do it for anybody listening is at Kensington Palace, which was one of the princess's favorite palaces, apparently. And that's the one right in the middle of Hyde Park, which was on my walk after work every day. And so I learned all the different ways to take tea, but I like just to drink it the way it comes.
I like 2 cubes of sugar most of the time. Certain teas to me lend themselves to milk. And I will say this blackberry jasmine tea is so good. I think the last time I did tea in London was at Liberty's, which is a department store mainly known for its textiles, if people aren't familiar with it, but they also have fashion, and it's a little like Saks or Barney's where it's a very curated high fashion, but man, the tea is like very modern and very chic. But when I lived in Vienna, if you don't know about Austria, their entire culture is related. It just revolves around people having a piece of cake and a cup of coffee around 2 to 4 o'clock every afternoon and then going back to work afterwards. So it's like the opposite of a siesta. They're like, hey, we want to work more, but we need energy to do it. And that's when you have Apfelstrudel or Sachertorte. That's what I miss. That's what, if I was going to introduce something in our culture, it'd be let's do a little piece of afternoon cake and coffee.
Sounds wonderful.
When I lived in Mexico City, we used to make all these teas, but fresh, you know? I mean, we take the fresh chamomile and we boil it. So it's like very, very fresh. Tea houses in Mexico City are relatively new, but yeah, they are making their way.
That's fascinating though, Imelda.
Yeah.
Claire, are you a hot tea drinker?
I am. I love tea. And I usually am like you, Sarah. I take it plain. I wish that tea culture was more of a thing in the US. It's kind of hard to have the same experience to me with coffee that you get with tea. Like tea invites you to like sit down and really like soak in the moment. And so one thing I do is when I feel like life is hectic and I need a little bit of a like reset, I will go to Fount Board and Table in Uptown. This is a little coffee shop, cafe, and they have really wonderful teas on their menu that are really thoughtfully selected. And they have the most beautiful little tea setup that is elegant, but without the big to-do of doing a formal tea. So you can just be sitting there with your laptop, getting some work done, and have this gorgeous pot of tea with little preserved lemon and honey, and they keep it warm over a little tea light candle. For me, it's like the best hack for like a work day when I'm going to work remote somewhere.
Is it loud?
We know how I feel about loud coffee shops. Generally, that's why I go to this place, because it's typically one of the quieter spots and they have really good music.
We are having a bit of a scene change right now. We are getting fresh cups because this fabulous blackberry jasmine tea that we all love so much, it's about to be swapped for a chestnut tea. And I'm excited to see how this pairs with our sandwiches. I love a finger sandwich.
I have a question, Roberto. If people love the tea they're drinking here at the Dallas Arboretum, can they buy it?
Yes, it most definitely can. We offer the teas at the gift shop by the main entrance. They have all the teas that we have served here from the very beginning of the year, from our friendship tea, spring tea, garden, harvest, and holiday tea.
Oh, lovely. These seem like good holiday presents. Also, now I don't have to source chestnuts again to make chestnut tea.
Which I didn't even know was a thing. Chestnut tea.
Neither did I.
I don't think I've seen this before, and I'm super excited to try it. I'm expecting it to be roasty.
The Arboretum for me has been such a special place since I moved to Dallas. I was shaken to my core. I did not think that this event would affect me the way that it did. And that was the eclipse. So I was excited. I knew that it was only going to happen X time in Dallas and my life, like all of those stats. And when I was at the Arboretum, surrounded by a bunch of strangers who'd flown in for it just like silent tears falling down my face. But it was here at the Arboretum, which is so fun.
So special. My Arboretum story is that my husband and I had our wedding reception here. So we were in Rosine Hall, which is the big room that you come to at the main gate. And it was April, so the tulips were blooming. It's my favorite time of year at the Dallas Arboretum, and there were something like 500,000 tulips in those bright, vivid colors all over the grounds. And we had cocktail hour at sunset and then dancing inside. And the Arboretum is just a magical place for me. And we come, of course, to remember that day. But, you know, since we were married here in 2013, they built the children's garden. Our kids are big enough to walk themselves around all the holiday events. And so it's just been a really special place for our family to grow up.
We are about to dive into the sandwich course of the tea. It arrived on 3 tiers, and it makes me so happy.
Roberto just gave us our own tiny tongs for reaching onto this 3-tiered plate, which is incredible because, guys, I would have just touched them.
Yeah, me too.
That's why he started with you with the tongs.
I know. He's like, this lady needs tongs. Man, is there anything better than chicken salad? And theirs is cranberry almond chicken salad in a little tiny phyllo cup.
Claire, I feel like you are a chicken salad connoisseur.
I don't know why you would think that, but it's true. I'm like really confused why you associate
This
me.
is not coming out of nowhere. You and I talked about it a lot for your Eat See story.
Okay, that's fair. Forgot about that. I really like chicken salad. I make it often. But you know what? Sometimes you can be burned by a chicken salad. And I will say, looking at this chicken salad, it looks the way I want it to look.
We've talked about it on this podcast in the past, but you can deeply ruin chicken salad with large hunks of raw celery.
That's
fact,
true.
not fiction. And I'm pleased to say that this chicken salad is nicely smooth and you're going to get some texture from the cranberries, but not from too big of hunks of celery.
This chicken salad is fantastic.
I have to tell you guys something. So see how our cucumber sandwiches are cut diagonally?
Yep.
As a kid, I thought that there was nothing fancier than a sandwich cut diagonally.
Yeah.
And I could not understand why my mom would cut our sandwiches any other way other than that.
Yeah, because it doesn't lose bread.
Right.
It's just a choice of where to start.
But I was like, this is an opportunity to really elevate the experience, Mom.
You sound like Ina Garten, but like a child Ina Garten.
I think you're right.
And you know what? I will say, like, when I make a very simple, humble sandwich at home, I still will pause and make the decision to cut it diagonally as like a little self-care moment for myself.
I love to think about those preconceptions that we had as kids for what is fancy and what is not. And one of my number one things was I thought that the people who did not keep butter inside of the wax paper, but instead put it in a butter dish or something like that were the height of elegance and sophistication.
That's funny.
I thought that till I was like 10.
I kind of still think that. And sometimes I'm a butter unwrapper and sometimes I'm not.
I think the butter thing makes sense to me, Anna, but as an adult now who watches people leave their butter out, what that also means is that they're probably cooks.
Do any of you have a butter bell?
No.
Do you know what they are?
Yes.
I have, in the past few years, become a Butterbell convert. And I will say it is so nice to have room temp spreadable butter ready to go at any moment. So for anyone listening who doesn't know what a Butterbell is, it looks like a little bell and you put your butter inside of it and it goes upside down into a little crock that has some water in it. And in ways I can't entirely understand, it keeps it preserved. And it's great.
That's definitely the part I don't understand. Like, why does this work?
I know, I don't question it. I just go along with it.
I mean, but you seem like a healthy, happy person who hasn't been, poisoned by butter.
Not yet.
I mean, it is because it's more of the fat that was leftover residual fat than it is the actual dairy in and of itself, which is why it will be at least counter-stable longer. And something about the water helps seal in what needs to be sealed. So it's less exposed to elements.
That's funny because one of the memories that I have from childhood, thinking about rich people, was people eating with bread and butter, actually, because we at home, we used to eat a lot of tortilla, So for me, like eating with butter and bread, that was something,
Pinkies up food.
Yeah.
Okay, so what has been everyone's favorite bite so far from our sandwich course?
I don't know, but I'm about to take a bite of Roberto's favorite, which is the lobster BLT on a biscuit.
For me, I have to say, the pumpernickel with herb butter and radish is so good.
I approve, Roberto.
I agree with Claire. That pumpernickel open-faced sandwich is delicious. And it's the stuff on top that makes it so good. What is that?
Herb butter.
Butter.
And
Oh, it's just butter.
radish. Yeah, speaking of butter.
My butter fell off and I put it back on and then I licked the finger that had a little extra butter. I also twice didn't use my tongs. I think they're going to escort me out of here.
Roberto's watching. One of my favorite things in all the world, though, actually, is radishes with butter and like Maldon salt just sprinkled on top of it. Like, it's the most simple, easy appetizer. Kind of one of those like adult simple elegances, which is so cheap but makes me feel so fancy.
Also, to that point, making an herb butter, such an easy way to super elevate whatever you're serving or cooking, or if you're hosting something, just like taking the time to incorporate whatever herb you love or some chives or garlic or whatever into your butter and putting it in a dish that's separate than the wrapping paper. To me, that's like one of my favorite hosting hacks, especially around the holidays, is serving a little bit of herbed butter instead of just whatever butter you would normally put on the table.
Claire, that reminds me of around July 4th when we shared the recipe from Chef Dean Fearing, where he makes a compound butter with crystal hot sauce in it, and then he slathers it all over his corn on the cob. And do you remember at the time we thought that is simple, but it's perfect.
Mm-hmm. Y'all, this is heavenly. I mean, just sitting in this room and this food and the tea, like it has truly affected my mood. Also, I did have to forego the tongs. I was knocking everything over before I got it to my plate.
Tell you what, I think it's okay.
This is a safe space, Julie. Also, I'm kind of realizing maybe this is why holiday tea is a thing, Julie, to exactly your point. Like this was not a thing I grew up doing, was holiday tea, but I know it's a thing that's become a tradition for a lot of families, and I get it.
Yeah, this is my second one of the year. And I will have a third before Christmas. I love holiday tea. I'm one of those people, though, that would rather have experiences than things. And those experiences are usually food.
Yeah.
And this is a great food experience to gift someone, too.
Anna, since you're a pro at this, what are a couple of places around town that you like to have holiday tea? And what does the holiday tea season look like? Is this over after Christmas?
I can at least speak for the Arboretums and say that it goes through January 5th. What I will also tell you is that most of the time reservations for holiday tea open up right after Halloween. So this is a huge part of Dallas food culture. I like it because I would say there are a plethora and a pantheon of holiday teas. The other one I've gone to so far this year is the one at the French Room at the Adolphus. That one, there are bites in it that involve truffle and things like that that are over the top. And they're very pretty and polished, and like the bites are tiny, and you kind of feel that polish of fine French dining that they're going for there. And the room in and of itself is glowing and beautiful. You could actually choose to go into their bar area, which is plaid and dark and a little more shrouded. I would also say every high tea has its merits. I really want to try the one at Mirador, for instance, at 4510 in downtown Dallas, which is an upscale boutique, but on its top floor is Mirador. And that is supposed to be ultra modern in its presentation, but also the types of bites it has. So I don't know if you're going to find a straight up cucumber sandwich classic there. They would probably phrase it something like a take on a cucumber sandwich, a deconstructed cucumber sandwich. When we start adding more adjectives, sometimes I get nervous.
And Julie and I would like to know, is champagne part of any of this? Or do we booze up our high tea, or is that not classy?
You can 100% booze it up. It probably depends on the time of day. We are here on a weekday during a work day, so it was not really as much of an option for us.
Anna, I wasn't asking if I could have a glass of champagne right now.
Were you though?
I would drink it. No, but I mean, is that often like an add-on, just in the same way that these higher end restaurants will say, would you like a wine pairing with your tasting menu?
Many of the high tea places usually seat you with a quote unquote complimentary glass of champagne, because it's not complimentary. Typically, you also should know you are prepaying for your teas. So if you're doing it for a large group of people or something, just maybe budget for it at Halloween. But you can totally booze up your high tea. You can add alcohol.
I think
you can add alcohol here at the Arboretum as well. The one at the French Room, for instance, you can add caviar too if you really want to.
You guys, I forgot we had a third course going. I just ate those sandwiches like that was it.
If you do want to read a little bit more about holiday teas, I put together a story on it. It's on dallasnews.com/food. We're going to take a quick break and we'll be back right after this.
Central Market is really into food. Like when we say cheese, it's in 12 languages into food. Butchers, bakers, and sushi roll makers into food. We're talking so obsessive about quality you could shop blindfolded into food. Central Market is really into food. If you are too, then let us turn your shopping list into a treasure map. Get inspired, get adventurous, or just get a chef-made dinner when you've got more taste buds than time. No place makes every meal more amazing like Central Market. Really into food. Shop now at centralmarket.com.
Welcome back. We are here about to start our third course with a little bit of Darjeeling tea.
What is Darjeeling? What is that?
This is, in particular, a Himalayan Darjeeling. And Darjeeling is essentially known mainly for its antioxidant properties, in addition to being used in the title of a Wes Anderson film.
That doesn't seem to me like the first time it was used.
I think it was. It definitely has caffeine in it. We're all going to be having such a good time after this. We are buzzing on caffeine.
I think it's great that tea has caffeine because it is such an elegant, much more slow process to drink and enjoy tea to me than to kick back a little cup of espresso, for instance. And like, we're getting to the same place either way, but this caffeine rush was just so sophisticated.
If you want a quick hit of caffeine, you have espresso. If you need it to last a longer time, it's coffee. So with this one, this is a black tea again. So it's going to hit you a little bit faster than a green tea, which will last a little bit longer, keep you awake a little bit longer, which I always just find is interesting because sometimes you're like, I'm going to have a long night, so I should have coffee with dinner, not espresso. Or we're going to go out and have one more drink. So that's probably more of an espresso occasion than it is a coffee thing, unless you don't value sleep.
Well, and here in Texas, Anna, where does Dr. Pepper fit in?
Who's that? I'm just kidding. You know, I'm fascinated by the Dr. Pepper thing because it has overtaken Pepsi as the second most popular caffeinated beverage in the world. So number one is always Coke, but the Pepsi Coke thing was always what was being vied for globally. And Dr. Pepper has now taken it over. And I'm sure that had something to do with the acquisition of Dr. Pepper by Keurig. But, you know, I love that kind of really nerdy, probably business stuff.
I have to tell you guys, I've never had Dr. Pepper.
What?
I've had Dr. Pepper flavored things, you know, probably because you guys have made me try them. I don't think I've ever actually had just like a straight Dr. Pepper though.
Really?
Oh,
Yeah.
it's so good. I mean, I'm not even much of a soda drinker, but a Dr. Pepper, there's just a time and a place for it.
Someone recently told me that it's made out of prunes. Is this true?
No.
I don't think so. The thing about Dr. Pepper is it has a cherry cola flavor to it.
All right, so we're now presenting our third and final course, our desserts. So right here on the very top, you can have your thumbprint cookies with a little bit of marmalade and your chocolate stars with shy chantilly. Here on your center plate, you have your cranberry scones with clotted cream, strawberry jam. And here on the very bottom, you'll have your cranberry crumbles, mini pecan tartlets, and espresso truffles.
Roberto, are we allowed to start from the bottom, which is the desserts?
My recommendation is starting with the scones. We just got them out the hot box. They're so nice and warm and delicious. And they also have a little bit of white chocolate and cream cheese filling on the inside.
Ooh.
Very, very delicious.
And here come the tongs.
Thank you.
Oh, see.
Scone down.
Okay.
Sarah's scone is...
Used the tip of the tong to tong the cone. Scone. I used the tip of the tong to tong the scone, and the scone went squish.
I think it just tongued you back.
That serves me right for using these tongs. I'm giving them to Imelda for good.
Claire, can you serve Sarah's food the rest of the meal?
They're not going to let me come back.
I'm going to use also my hand. Ah, you know what? I'm going to...
I know you'd wanted to take your daughters, Sarah, but you're not allowed back.
I know. My kids can come by themselves.
Yeah, I know.
Speaking of that, is this the kind of thing where we bring kids, or is it a little bit too elegant for, I don't know, say a 4-year-old and an 8-year-old little girl?
It depends on the tea. This one in particular, there are certain times where it's a much more kid-friendly experience. I believe there's an age restriction for certain teas at certain places, so definitely look into that before going. But there's an entire summertime full of kids' tea at the Arboretum, and it has more kid-friendly offerings. They might be a little intimidated by, say, a cucumber sandwich or a lobster BLT, but they can have peanut butter and jelly and ham sandwiches and things like that.
That sounds darling. You remember when we were talking about Sadel's, which is inviting kids in to have dinner, and they talk to the kids like they're little diners who have agency. I'm so into that in general. Having your kids order their own food, reading their menu, making those decisions. So I love this idea, Anna, that the Arboretum does a holiday tea for kids. And I will say, for the first time in our life, our 4-year-old is taking a manners class at school. And I didn't even know this was a thing. Clearly, it wasn't a thing for our older daughter, who I think has nice manners, but the 4-year-old will come home with all kinds of rules about what she's allowed to do at the Thanksgiving table or the holiday table because the manners teacher taught her that. The whole thing is just hilarious and adorable. And taking her to tea might be a really cool lesson in manners.
I love that. I did normal, or at least normal for Texas things like cotillion and things like that. But what was not as normal is that I went to a full-on manners camp 3 times.
Did you fail the first 2?
I feel like maybe the takeaway was room for improvement. And all I can tell you is that if I am not using the correct manners, it's a choice. I know what I'm supposed to be doing. And I just don't care.
It seems I have to go to that school now.
Same, Imelda. We need to get signed up.
Yeah, we need to get.
Do they teach you how to use tongs?
Yes, they do. Okay, so this scone, which we were encouraged to start with first, that cream cheese little like surprise inside of it keeps it so moist, but it still somehow has a very flaky crust. So it has that tenderness that you're looking tenderness inside of a scone, but it has the buttery flake on the outside.
This is one of the best scones I've had in a while. I usually feel like I'm disappointed by them because they're just too dry, but this is divine and I would come here just for the scones.
This is so good.
To me, the magic of these scones is the part on the inside. I love them. And yes, they do remind me of some of the scones I had at Kensington Palace.
I would recommend if you're at this, there are 2 things I would have last. The lastest of all of them would be the espresso truffle. And then I would also wait for the chocolate star. And it's only because, especially the espresso, will probably blow out your palate.
It is really fun how many desserts there are on these 3 tiers. You know, like when I think of dessert, certainly at a restaurant, you have 1, maybe 2. I mean, there are 6 things and we're going to try them all.
Imelda, as we've been sitting here enjoying this, I keep thinking about what would it look like if you were to take this concept of high tea, very British experience, and make it Mexican.
Ooh,
What do you think that would look like?
that's adventurous. I think instead of tea, it will be atole, like this champurrado thing with chocolate and milk and even some fruit. Do you agree with me, Roberto?
Most definitely.
And then instead of scones and everything, I will say some pan dulce, you know? Some little conchitas.
Like cute little tiny baby ones.
Yeah, baby ones.
With lots of colors.
Yeah.
Maybe
lots
some
of colors.
sprinkles.
That would be good, yeah. And I think we will use one utensil that I have here with me. Look.
Wait, is it a tong?
Imelda's unwrapping something.
It looks like a linen napkin.
We are very, very used to share food, right? In the table and everything. So we need this.
Oh my God.
It's an Inspector Gadget fork.
Imelda, when and where did you acquire this?
I'll take that with you. So we will need one like this. So this is a fork that stretch until your neighbor's plate. So you can steal the food like I'm stealing right now from Anna.
That's my pecan bar.
Imelda has a fully extendable fork that she just... Did you bring that with you?
Yeah.
It's obviously not provided
all
by the
way.
Arboretum.
Yeah, I think that they didn't have... Look at this.
Wait.
Say goodbye to you.
I think that this is against serve safe standards.
So this is now a Mexican experience.
Go Gadget fork. Can I have my pecan bar back now?
Yeah. And the thing is, I have one for each of you, right?
Oh my God.
So this is your...
This is a present.
Yeah, this is a present. There you go.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas, guys.
I love that you walked in here with a little napkin full of extendable forks.
Yeah,
Thank
this is
you,
what
Imelda.
we do in Mexico, so you're welcome.
If you have any high tea memories or just any other holiday things in between, we would love to hear about them. Email us at eatdrink@dallasnews.com. That's about all the time that we have for today. Thanks for listening to us, and thank you to the Dallas Arboretum for having us here.
Guys, I still have 5 desserts left on my plate, so we have some work cut out for us.
You can reach out to us to share your food thoughts and questions by emailing us at eatdrink@dallasnews.com. We appreciate you tuning in, and we'd love to hear from you. This show is produced by Julie Fisk. To catch up on every episode of this show and hear more from our newsroom, just follow the Dallas Morning News wherever you get your podcasts. And if you like what you hear, please rate the show and leave a review. Find links to all of our work at dallasnews.com/listen. You'll also find a special membership offer there just for listeners. For the news, I'm Anna Butler. Thanks for listening.
Eat, Drink, DFW from the Dallas Morning News is made possible by Central Market.